Good morning, everybody. Again, as I said that before. It's an honor to be here today, and it's an honor to fill in for Reverend Doug. I am knowing quick and easy and fast healing for him, and that he will be here sharp as ever next week. And thank you for the beautiful music. I didn't realize there would be so many love-filled songs, so that's awesome. So for those of you that don't know me, and most of you do not, some might remember me from October, but my name is Erica Satie. I am a ministerial student. I'm actually graduating in May in Denver, so this is very exciting. And thank you. And I'm with the Centers for Spiritual Living, which was formerly known as Religious Science. And I'm just excited to share this message with you. I'm also the founder of the Self-Love Academy, which helps to empower others to really focus on loving themselves rather than looking to the outside world or running off of their old programming as they show up in their lives. So the first thing I'd like to do is ask a question. I love asking questions in my talks because I want to see where we're at here. What's going on here? So the first thing I want to ask is, have you ever been plagued with self-doubt or insecurities or a lack of self-love? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, a couple? Okay, maybe more than a couple. Awesome. All right, well, I'm not alone. That's great. So why this is such an important topic and why I chose to launch the Self-Love Academy is because we are just so bombarded in this life by the message that you have to feel good because of things that are happening in the outside world. If you have the right job or career, if you have the right amount of money, if you have the right partner, if you have the right body, etc., 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 right? And I found for me that was very empty. It just didn't get me anywhere. And I really struggled with that. I would get an accomplished, I would accomplish something that I thought was huge. And then a day or two later, I felt empty again. Or I would have a relationship and I didn't feel fulfilled because I was always looking for it outside of myself. And so I tell you, the things I'm going to share with you today are really about tools that we can bring into our daily lives to kind of let go of that idea that we can't love ourselves, we can't nurture ourselves. I know that when I focus more on me, and not in a selfish way, our society tells us if you take time for yourself, if you put yourself first, you are selfish. But really, and I learned a lot about this in ministerial school. If your cup is empty, what are you going to do to help? You cannot help others that way. And if you're grasping for others to make you feel better, they will always, always disappoint you. So I also want to really remember for all of us, and for me, that the thing that trumps all of this, the cleaning house and the old ideas and the way we were raised, is the fact that when we really align with who and what we are, the capital T truth of who we are, which is an expression of God, right? Then that pretty much takes over all of the insecurities. At least it does for me. So that's what I hope to share with you guys today. That's what I'm knowing that I'm going to share with you today. And, it is crucial that we find a way to love and really nurture ourselves. And so for me, I have to say that this has not always been easy. I grew up in a household where love, self-love, and self-value was in very limited supply. And we were of the impression that when we walked out into the world and presented ourselves, we were already several rungs down the ladder. I know, it's sad. But it got so bad for me that when I was a teenager, I was actually quite obese. And I'm telling you, going through high school and being 250 pounds is not good. And you don't really have a lot of self-love at all. In fact, it got so bad that I couldn't look people in the eye. If I walked down the street and passed you, I couldn't look at you. And some people, I couldn't even look at them in the eye when I talked to them. And so I want to share this with you because this has been a journey for me. And that's why I feel like I'm very qualified to share with you some of the ways that I have come past it, I've moved forward, and I'm not that person anymore. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be up here speaking to you had I not done the work and had I not realized that there is more to me than what my household taught me. And just, a plug for New Thought. I have been studying New Thought for over a decade now. And every time I have gone through a class or sat in prayer or studied a wonderful book, and go look at those books, you guys, because for those of you that will be watching the playback, there is a whole bunch of books that are being given away downstairs, and I have a box full already. And all of these books help to really restructure, at least for me, the way I look at the world, the way I think about myself. I remember reading, so Ernest Holmes is the founder of Science of Mind, for those of you that are unfamiliar. And when I read his text, especially the Science of Mind book, which is really huge and kind of hard to understand, but the more you read it, the more you understand it, one of those, the more I could see that there was more to it, that I wasn't just this human person having this small little experience, that I was actually amazingly tapped into the force behind the universe, the force that was the universe. And so the more that I've done that, the more I have come to let go of the old stuff. And I don't believe in a spiritual bypass. I think when I was here in October, I talked about, you can treat and do prayer and affirm that everything is great, but there's some house cleaning that has to be done. At least that's in my opinion. I have to look at the causes and conditions and what I grew up with and the old ideas that I'm still holding on to. So there's this wonderful quote from Charles Fillmore. He says, "Let the God within you express itself through you and in the world throughout or without." So show up with that God light coming forth. Show up with that happening as your being and watch what happens. And I know that this seems like a lofty goal. And I have been through many classes, one of which was quantum physics. And the professor said, this is a lifelong, really endeavor to get that you are one with God. It really is. So don't get mad at yourself and give up. There's all these other tools that we can use to get us there, right? So, let me get to my notes. So, my question is, what would your life look like if you were connected to God? What would your life look like if you got up in the morning and you knew that this power of love and peace and harmony and truth and goodness was so excited to greet the day as you, that it was it, I call God it, but he, she, whatever you want to call God, is expressing in you as you, and only you can show up in this particular lifetime, at this particular time as God in this moment. There's nobody else that can do this. And so God is just super excited about this. And so what would life look like? I know for me, when I remember who I am more confident. I walk taller. I really don't care that much about what other people think about me. And I certainly am not grasping for others to make me feel better. And so that feeling, it can be rather transitory. I know the things that really help me to stay connected to that are, something as simple as putting up a sticky note with an affirmation that really makes you feel good and makes you feel connected to God. But also what we're doing now, coming to church and being with like-minded people and being reminded that God is who and what we are. Wow. So not to get too crazy and be like, okay, we're going to walk out here and know that we are one with God all the time with every moment, and whatever happens, it doesn't matter. I know that I'm one with God. I think part of the reason we're here is to get out of the mesmeric state we're in, that the society and the world just makes us buy into all of it, all into the fear, all into the worry, all into this, we're just these small little beings and we're going to potentially pass on and go to heaven, but maybe not. And none of, if we really know that we're one with God, we don't think that way potentially, but I do think it's part of our life journey. So we can relax, right? We don't have to figure that out today. So this quote from Ernest Holmes, as I said, the founder of Science of Mind, which is my church, Centers for Spiritual Living. They changed the name. He says, love is within us. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be ignored. To the extent that we abandon love, we will feel it has abandoned us. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is our only answer. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole. I love that reminder. So the love of God is what we tap into when we are aware of our oneness. The love of God, and I love these songs because it was love, especially, I didn't notice on the first song, but the second song, love was capitalized with a capital L, and that's God. And I know so many people that think of God as love. I don't go there. That's not my first spot to go. I go through, God is orchestrating the universe is what makes me feel all excited and wonderful. But God is love. And when I kind of humble myself, it's interesting. I was raised in the Catholic Church, so I was taught to pray outside of myself. But in Centers for Spiritual Living, we're taught that God is within us, and through affirmative prayer, then we tap into that power. And so I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. I do like saying thank you in advance. So whatever works. So one of the tools that I'd like to share with you is that of mirror work. I don't know if any of you have heard of Louise Hay. You Can Heal Your Life is such a powerful and amazing book. I always looked at Louise Hay as kind of the grandmother, one of the grandmothers I never had. I just loved her. And the book, You Can Heal Your Life, actually changed my life. I had been chronically ill for 8 years, very, very sick with a form of heart failure. And I remember reading that book, and one of the first things she says is, you do not have to be sick the rest of your life. And I was like, what? You don't have to be sick the rest of your life? I'm hooked. Tell me how. And I'm here to say I am healthy and strong, and I am not chronically ill anymore, and my heart's pretty much normal, just about normal. So I have nothing but good things to say about Louise Hay. So she has this little book called Mirror Work, and I highly suggest it. And I know mirror work can be very uncomfortable for some people, but if you will just go with me a little bit here today, if anybody happens to have a mirror in your purse, if you don't have a mirror, or for those of you who are watching the playback at home, go to a mirror in your home, or just say these they say this as an affirmation. I actually have a mirror here. Are you surprised? Hold on. And so Louise Hay talks about when you look in the mirror and you say these affirmations, and she gives you varying degrees of affirmations to work with. She said there's nothing more powerful. And I know when we first do it, it's very uncomfortable. It's especially if you're not used to looking in the mirror and saying I love you. And it sounds corny, but I'm really talking about this today because I think it's super, super powerful. And I know that if you stick with it for about a week, it gets to the point where you're like, hey, I actually do love me. I'm feeling good about this. And maybe you're somebody that's done some work or done a lot of work, and you look in the mirror and say, I love you, and it does not feel terrible to you. So just if you do have a mirror, if anybody has a mirror, I'm just going to take you through a couple of affirmations. So the first one is, I love you. I really love you. So you just look in the mirror, I love you, I really love you. The second one is, I am safe and loved. I am safe and loved. And the third, I am blessed and supported always. And so Louise Hay says, you are a magnificent, beautiful child of God who is whole, complete, and perfect. You are a unique, gifted, loving expression of the divine. Use mirror work to remind yourself of this absolute truth. So if you will just try this week, I highly suggest it, because the more I've done it, the better I've felt about myself, and then that shines forth for everybody else. So another thing I would like to talk about, I'm not going to keep this mirror in my hand, is that of affirmations. And I love affirmations. I spoke about them the last time I was here. I talked about, for those of you that were here, my addiction to caffeine and how I applied the affirmation, water is my favorite beverage, over and over and over again, until Water was my favorite beverage. It's still my favorite beverage. This past winter, I actually brought in some tea, but just a little bit of tea, but I still really love water. And for somebody that drank as much caffeine as I did in every possible form, I'm surprised I didn't do coffee beans covered in cocoa, chocolate. I was really on it. But I love affirmations, and they work on several levels, as some of you may know. They work in replacing the negative with the positive, especially if you're having a day where you're like, nothing's going right, and I love the affirmation, I let this be easy, especially if you're on the phone with customer service, which I do a lot because, I feel it's my right to have as a consumer, I want a good product and I want things to be good. So I let this be easy. And then, when you're having a day, even if you're having a good day, I love the affirmation, I allow my life to be wonderful. And you can even add, and I am wonderful. I allow my life to be wonderful, and I am wonderful. And I've said that, especially in the middle of the night when I get up and I can't sleep and something's troubling me. It just seems to open up the doors to the good that God is always sending us. And that's one thing I didn't touch on earlier. I was taught, and I firmly believe, that God is always sending us, just showering us with so much good, so much love, so much prosperity, so much health. And it's up to me, it's up to us to open up and know. And I think the self-worth comes into play there. If I feel that I'm not worth having a wonderful career or worth having a beautiful relationship, then guess what? I'm not going to have that. But if things like affirming that I am worthy and wonderful, I am worthy of being healthy, vibrant, and strong, I am worthy of having a wonderful day, I am worthy or allowing of all the good that God is sending to me now and always. And really, really, God is. The more that I see that I let go of resistance, and I think part of the resistance is thinking that I'm not enough to have X, Y, and Z. And I love, if any of you know about Esther Hicks, she talks about, God can create a button just as easily as a castle. There is no difference. It's just the human mind that puts a worth on the button or the castle. So let it be easy. I love these affirmations. And for self-love, I love and approve of myself. I love and value myself. I am proud of myself. Let whatever touches your heart be the one that you choose for the day, that you choose to grasp a hold of. I just absolutely love affirmations. Another tool that has proven to be very, very powerful is work with your minister, prayer partner, or practitioner. I am also a practitioner. You cannot get into ministerial school in Centers for Spiritual Living without being a practitioner. So I have had the pleasure of working with others and just really utilizing affirmative prayer. And, essentially our 5-step prayer in our teaching is, knowing that God is all that there is, knowing that we are one with God, affirming what the truth is, basically the opposite of whatever the condition is, being in gratitude, and then releasing it to the law of mind, which is God in action. So I have found it to be so powerful to know the truth for other people. And I do what we call a treatment every single day, every morning for myself and for others. But there's the power of sitting with somebody who is knowing this for you. As I said, it could even just be a prayer partner. In school, we were encouraged back when I was becoming a practitioner to have at least one prayer partner to pray with every week. And I have 4 now, and I used to have 5. And I love it because anytime something comes up that needs some kind of assistance, or if everything's going well, just knowing more that I'm one with God, really realizing that and embracing that, I call my prayer partner and we pray for each other. And the things that I have had, come forward in my life, more health, more money, wonderful relationship, a beautiful life. I spoke last time when I was here that I am originally from Los Angeles, and I moved to the Western Slope about a year and a half ago. And I tell you, I couldn't have gotten through that without prayer, without meeting with practitioners, without meeting with ministers, without really having that prayer come into my life. And so for self-love, for nurturing yourself, bringing that into prayer, to whoever you're working with, what is it that on your heart that is not the truth of who you are? And I love how Ernest Holmes talks about, we're not really in prayer asking for anything. We're actually knowing the revealing of the truth. So it's not really like, okay, universe, please fix X, Y, and Z. It's no for me that I let go of these old beliefs that are blocking the good that's always coming to me. Knowing this and embracing this. And so I really suggest, make an appointment with somebody or have a person that you pray with regularly. And if you're not comfortable with prayer, find a book there's some wonderful books that I'm sure there might be some downstairs, actually. Actually, I did see some. And I could suggest some others that have prayers that are already written that you can just read together. But it's been a powerful tool for me and for those that I've worked with. And it really has helped me to move forward in having that love within myself and that touchstone of the truth of who I am, rather than really trying to find it from somebody else or something else. So, oh boy. So I know I've given you a lot, and I've only scratched the surface. There's so much we can do. And I did mention how wonderful meditation is, and also visualization. So if you guys would join me, I would like us to go within, and I would like to lead us in a self-love meditation. So if you're comfortable, please close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes and breathe. And just lay your palms softly on your thighs if that's comfortable for you. So once you find your place, your space where you are relaxed in your chair, take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out from your mouth. Take a moment to appreciate and acknowledge being present right here and right now. And let's work our way to love. What is the reason that you forget to love yourself? What is the reason that you try to forget who and what you are? Try to reset what you think, what you know, and start again from scratch. Enjoy this moment as a complete moment of freedom, of peace. And as your mind gets lighter, free from all negative thoughts, ready to get nourished with some positive vibes, allow yourself to feel grounded in the trust that God has got it all. Keep in mind that love is not something you have to look for. This is something that is inside of you, as I spoke earlier. Hidden from a surface made up of worries, schedules, social masks, and a wrong negative conception of yourself. You just have to release and let it go, and let that love come forward and shine. Let it lead you. What you have to look for is the perfect combination of your body and soul. A balanced, serene mood and attitude that feels like you're preparing a fertile soil to grow amazing, beautiful flowers as divine insights from a higher and more caring version of yourself. Get ready to release and let go of the old. This is the day and the time to let your walls down and feel free to show up with no defenses, vulnerable, widely open, with an open heart, in touch with that beautiful open heart. Take a long, deep breath in and a long, deep breath out. Listen to the sound of your breathing becoming heavier and heavier with every breath you take. Use this moment to focus on your emotions, on how you feel. Focus your breath to create a regular, soothing, and intimate environment to cultivate a new, improved, mindful, and open mindset. The sound and feeling of your breath, which with its vibrational frequencies, will show up, and it will spread all over your body, nourishing it at a different, deeper stage, at a deeper level. Simply release your sense of discomfort, any feelings of loneliness or insecurity. Experience the present moment, because it's time to heal. Heal your emotional wounds, feeling grateful for yourself once again. Focus on one particular thought. Think about the one thing you love about yourself. As you think about it, about that wonderful quality or qualities, inhale and smile quietly to yourself. Be your own friend and exhale out with a sigh. You just have to do this with love, with loving, caring gestures, a little bit every day. Baby steps. Explore your body, your mind, your emotions, how you really feel. Just acknowledge it and keep things going. This is not a race. This is not a challenge. This is a time of your life to reconnect with your true higher self, with the God within. This is your time to spread your little wings and soar, or your big wings, higher than before, stronger than before, better than before. Take a deep breath and visualize a door. With you exhaling, try to open the door with your energy, your power, your new confidence, and your love. See the light waiting for you on the other side. This is the warm wave of love that you deserve for what you really are. Your inner spiritual self is nothing to shy away from, and it's now ready to embrace and to spread all over your life, in every part of your life. Connect with spirit and enjoy every single ray that you see. Feel it all over your face, in your heart, in your mind. Take another deep breath with a sigh. Rub your hands together and generate a little heat between them. And once they are warm, put them on your eyes. Wonderful. Take these last precious moments to acknowledge your commitment to this practice, to bring that light, that spiritual connection, as much as you can into your daily life. And when you are ready, put your hands down and gently open your eyes. So before I close, I'd like to say that you are worth it. You are valuable. You are amazing. God didn't put you on this earth in order for you to go without. God put you here to shine forth from within and let everybody see that light, to be a guide for others to express their light. There has never been a better time to value yourself. You have nothing to lose in loving yourself and nurturing yourself. Nobody else even has to know. It can just be between you and God. In fact, the most important relationship each one of us has is with ourselves and God. And so I just invite you to put those relationships, that relationship, first every day. So I'm just going to close with a quick little prayer. And so right here and right now, God is who and what I am, who and what we are. And I am knowing, because of this, we are dialed in. We are tuned in. We are turned on. We are knowing God's love and God's light. We are knowing peace and fun and prosperity and joy. We are knowing health. We are knowing connectedness and joy and love. And so I know as we go forward today, we remember this more and more. We remember how wonderful we are. We remember to nurture ourselves. We remember to come from that place of spirit rather than buying into what the outside world is telling us. And so I'm knowing this is happening for each of us with grace and ease and God's beautiful divine right timing. and divine love. And so I simply say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, love. And I release this word into the law of mind action, knowing it's already done. It's happening right here and right now and in all the days to come. And so it is. Amen.
2, 3, 4. There's turquoise sparkling in a summer sky, and emeralds dancing in a kitten's eyes. I know stardust lays on the moon each cloud at night. The diamond in your heart is shining now, oh so bright, and no soul shines alone. No heart beats on its own. There's a spark of life within us that connects us to the whole. There's a song of joy we're singing as we realize love is our real home. No soul shines alone. There are peaches warm out hanging in the sun, and cherries ripe for picking by someone. I hear hummingbird wings beat a rhythm of love. Wildflowers are singing, we are here for everyone, and no soul sings alone. No heart beats on its own. There's a spark of life within us that connects us at the soul, and a song of joy we're singing as we realize love's our real home. No soul sings alone. The rivers kiss the mountains, and the meadows feed the birds, and your laughter, I am certain, is the sweetest sound I've ever heard. Hear the gentle breeze blowing through your hair, and the smell of summer rain fills up the air. I love days we dance in the rain and laugh with no care. When I look into my heart, you're always dancing there, and no soul sings alone. No heart beats on its own. There's a spark of life within us that connects us at the soul, and a song of joy we're singing as we realize love is our real home. No soul sings alone. And the rivers kiss the mountains, and the meadows feed the birds, and your laughter, I am certain, is the sweetest sound I've ever heard. And no soul sings alone.
You've been watching a talk given by Reverend Doug Bottorff here at Independent Unity in beautiful Grand Junction, Colorado. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us spread our message. If you would like to support us, you can do so by clicking the button in the right-hand corner of the video screen. We greatly appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching.